Hi, Tamal. Welcome to the banking show. Today, we're talking about the foreign banks changing landscape of foreign banks in India. You raised this question in your column as well. What do you think? Has the landscape of foreign banks in India changed?
The answer is both yes and no. One way of seeing at things is the newfound aggression of some of the banks, particularly HSBC, because Citi has exited the retail space. Not India alone, 14 markets, India is one of the market. And HSBC is going all out to grab that space. HSBC has got former Indian cricket captain as their brand ambassador. HSBC recently launched as a co-sponsor a coffee table book written by Mrs. Shahrukh Khan, Gauri Khan, Shahrukh Khan's wife. So everywhere, wherever there is footsteps of HNIs, high net worth individuals, HSBC is going, and so it's pretty aggressive HSBC, which we have not seen. HSBC, incidentally, is the Europe's largest bank by asset. The focus is on India. In fact, recently, I think Reuters last week reported that HSBC actually would be exiting or scaling down operations in as many as 12 markets to focus on Asian markets. So if you see the change bit, I'm seeing that here is one bank which is going all out on India. But does it signify a massive change the way foreign banks have been operating in India? Certainly not. If you look at their numbers, they are roughly 1/3 in numbers of the number of banks operating in India. But when you look at their businesses, they are not in all businesses. They are very selective at where they want to be. So things have not changed. And one more point is relevant. Reserve Bank of India has opened up the segment and has actually any foreign bank can go for local incorporation. And once they are locally incorporated, they will be treated like a local bank, and they can get all the advantages of local banks in terms of branch networks, in terms of how they are being treated. But till now, only two banks, DBS, which the largest bank of Singapore, and SBM, State Bank of Mauritius. These two banks have taken this option. So had there been any change in the landscape, we would have seen more and more banks getting locally incorporated. That's not happening.
Traditionally, we have seen a lot of big announcements, but we have only seen exits. So why are they not in retail?
I think the kind of investment which one bank needs to make to be in the retail, investments in technology, investment in products and processes, investments in talent. This the foreign banks don't want to do. I mean, you need to compete with ICICI, Axis, Kotak, HDFC. These are the large-scale retail banks, and even others, State Bank of India also, if you find. In fact, if you look at the balance sheet of Indian banks, there's a quiet shift. Now, I would like to believe almost every bank has now more exposure to retail than they have to corporate India. So it's tough to compete with them in these circumstances. And foreign banks don't want to invest here where competition is so tough. Rather, they would like to focus on the areas where they have advantage over the local banks, and they can make money.
So what is the role they're playing in the Indian economy? What are the areas they are operating in and making their profits from?
So the way of looking at foreign banks would not be looking at their balance sheets and the size of their assets and their loan book and deposits and so on, but how profitable are they? They are making profit. They are profitable. And where are they making profit? They're making profit in foreign exchange, mergers and acquisition space, bonds, payment space, exports, trade financing, institutional banking, MNCs supporting them and all. So they have their own niche areas. Each of them has their own niche areas. Barring a few large one, they are into corporate banking. And for instance, Standard Chartered is as good as almost a local bank. But many of them, I think HSBC is now trying to play the role of a universal bank in India. But again, the focus is on high net worth individuals. It's another matter. It's into asset management. It's into insurance, getting back into wealth management also. Citibank has withdrawn from retail, but it's very strong in institutional banking. And everybody else, their own niches. So where they are making money. So the traditional yardstick of balance sheet, assets, etc., are not the way we should look at foreign banks. We should look at them at the profitability and look at them, the off-balance sheet items. Like even though their overall presence could be 5 and 6% in assets, but when it comes to off-balance sheet items, the derivatives, they are about 50% of the market. So that's the way foreign banks operate. I mean, don't expect them to to come here and do some social service and create and contribute to the making of India. They are in India and they want to ride on the India story, but their approach to business is very different. As long as they are making money, I think they are fine. We should not have any qualms about it.
That's great insights there, Tamal. As you said, there is no massive change in the landscape of foreign banks of India. And of course, we do expect them to play a role in the Indian economy. But as you said, that they want to make their profits. But one key takeaway is that we have to see how this story evolves, as you've written in your column as well. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that led success soar high. I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.